Imagine walking into a room and sensing tension between people before a word is spoken. You feel the energy shift when someone lies, even if their face is calm and words are convincing. You dream of someone's heartbreak weeks before it happens. You know, without knowing how you know. This is not magic. This is not coincidence. According to Carl Jung, this is the realm of the intuitive introvert, perhaps the most powerful and perilous psychological type to exist. While popular psychology often glamorizes intuition as a sixth sense, Jung took it further and deeper. He warned that intuitive introverts walk a razor's edge, capable of profound insight, yet vulnerable to psychological fragmentation. Their gift is also their burden. The ability to perceive hidden patterns, emotional undercurrents, and future possibilities can lead to extraordinary contributions or total inner collapse. Let us explore what Jung discovered about this personality type, the psychological traps that await them, and how to turn this dangerous gift into a source of true power and transformation. The anatomy of an intuitive introvert. Carl Jung identified 4 primary psychological functions: thinking, feeling, sensation, and intuition. While most people lead with sensation, relying on what they can see, hear, and measure, intuitive introverts rely on introverted intuition, the rarest and most complex of all. This function isn't about analyzing data or trusting gut feelings. It's about perceiving the unconscious. Introverted intuition dives beneath surface reality and connects with archetypal energies, symbolic meanings, and patterns that most people never consciously register. These individuals can see the blueprints of events before they unfold, how relationships will evolve, what motivations drive people, or which paths lead to ruin or rebirth. However, this ability comes with a severe cost. Intuitive introverts are often cut off from sensation, the grounding sense of physical reality. They may struggle to stay present, to remain in their bodies, to engage with daily life. This detachment from the concrete world creates profound psychological tension and dissonance, the curse of dual reality. Jung noted that intuitive introverts often feel like they inhabit 2 worlds simultaneously. There's the shared outer reality, concrete, factual, physical. Then there's the symbolic inner world, fluid, emotional, archetypal. Both are equally real to the intuitive, but they exist in conflict. While others ask, what happened? The intuitive introvert is asking, what does it mean? Living in this duality takes a psychological toll. The intuitive constantly receives impressions, dreams, insights, but they are rarely validated by others. When they attempt to share what they see, they are often dismissed, misunderstood, or even gaslit. This leads to a survival mechanism: silence. But silence becomes a prison. The unconscious continues to send symbolic data, visions, and impressions. The intuitive introvert becomes like a vessel overflowing with content, with nowhere for it to go. Over time, this builds inner pressure, confusion, and even existential despair. The 3 psychological traps. Jung identified 3 major psychological dangers that plague intuitive introverts who do not properly integrate their gift. 1. Archetypal inflation. This occurs when the intuitive begins to identify with the archetypes they perceive. For example, someone who frequently recognizes deep truths in others may begin to believe they are a wise sage or prophet. This ego inflation is seductive. It provides meaning and justification for their experiences, but it disconnects them from their human self and real-world relationships. 2. Psychic contamination. Intuitive introverts can absorb unconscious material from others without realizing it. They become psychic sponges, filled with others' emotions, projections, and wounds. Over time, the boundary between self and other erodes. This results in confusion, burnout, emotional overload, and even chronic anxiety or depression. Third, possession by the unconscious. The most dangerous trap is losing the ability to distinguish between symbolic and concrete reality. An intuitive may interpret mundane events as cosmic messages or divine signs. They may begin to see conspiracies, false meanings, or become consumed by archetypal fantasies. In Jung's clinical work, he encountered patients who had completely lost contact with consensus reality due to this immersion. These traps transform the intuitive gift into a source of profound suffering and disconnection. But Jung didn't just diagnose the problem, he also outlined a path forward. The 3 stages of the intuitive introvert's journey. Stage 1. The gift. This stage typically begins in childhood or adolescence. The intuitive introvert starts to notice that they see, feel, and understand things others do not. They may predict outcomes, feel people's emotions deeply, or have dreams that come true. At first, it feels like a superpower, an affirmation of their uniqueness. But this stage is also dangerous. Because their insights are often right, intuitive introverts may develop contempt for mundane reality and those who cannot see what they see. They may begin to disconnect from sensation, from grounding routines, and from practical responsibility. Stage 2. The curse. Eventually, the gift becomes overwhelming. Their perceptions are accurate, but sharing them alienates others. Friends feel exposed, partners feel suffocated, and family members accuse them of being too much. So the intuitive introvert retreats. They begin to mask their perceptions and emotions, pretending to be normal while privately drowning in symbolic data. The loneliness grows, the unprocessed visions pile up. They begin to fall into the traps: inflation, contamination, and possession. Most intuitive introverts get stuck here. They either suppress their gift and become hollow, or surrender to it and lose themselves. Stage 3. The integration. Integration is the process of making peace between the inner and outer worlds. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about becoming a bridge between them. Jung taught that the only way to avoid destruction is through conscious development of 3 core practices. The 3 skills of integration. 1. Reality anchoring. Intuitives must deliberately cultivate their weakest function, sensation. This means reconnecting with the body and the present moment. Practices like yoga, walking meditation, mindful eating, breathwork, and physical crafts, gardening, cooking, sculpting, help them stay rooted. These daily rituals anchor the intuitive and prevent them from being swept away by unconscious content. Second translation. The intuitive must learn to express what they see in forms others can understand. This could be through art, writing, teaching, therapy, or design. Translation is not just communication, it's catharsis. It allows the inner flood to become structured knowledge rather than chaotic experience. When you translate your insights, they become usable, not just for you, but for others. It also creates a psychological release valve, preventing internal overload. 3. Conscious permeability. This is about learning when to be open and when to shut the intuitive channel. Intuitives must create psychic boundaries through visualization, energy hygiene, and intentional rituals. They should not absorb everything. Jung called this standpoint, the ability to maintain a firm sense of self while still engaging with the unconscious. It's the art of saying, I see this, but I am not this. I understand you, but I don't carry your pain. The transformed intuitive, becoming the bridge. Once integrated, intuitive introverts become some of the most transformative people in society. They are not overwhelmed by their perceptions. They wield them consciously. They are translators of the collective unconscious. They give form to the formless, turning inner truth into outer action. They can be healers, artists, inventors, or visionaries. They are uniquely positioned to help humanity evolve, because they live with one foot in the symbolic world and one in the physical. But this potential can only be realized through deliberate inner work. The journey from gifted to integrated is not easy, but it is worth it. A gift that must be earned. Carl Jung never sugarcoated the intuitive introvert's life. He called it one of the hardest paths a person could walk. And yet, he believed it could lead to profound fulfillment, not just for the individual, but for humanity. If you are an intuitive introvert, your perceptions are not delusions. Your insights are not burdens, but they are responsibilities. The world needs people like you, people who can see what others miss, feel what others ignore, and imagine futures others cannot yet perceive. But first, you must learn to survive your own gift. Ground it, express it, protect it, and above all, integrate it. Because only then can you stop feeling like an alien in your own life and start becoming what you truly are. A bridge between the visible and the invisible, the outer and the inner, the now and the not yet.